And now on BBC One, it's time for Play School, presented today by Sheila Gilby and Andrew Seacombe.
A house with a door. Windows. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ready to play? What's the day?
Hello children, how are you today? I've got a story for you, and this I know is one of your all-time favourites. I know it is mine. So here we are. It's called The Three Little Wolves and the Big Bad Pig. Once upon a time there were three cuddly little wolves with soft fur and fluffy tails who lived with their mother. The first was black, the second was grey, and the third was white. One day the mother called the three little wolves round her and said, "My children, it is time for you to go out into the world. Go and build a house for yourselves, but beware of the big bad pig." "Don't worry, mother, we will watch out for him," said the three little wolves, and they set off. Soon they met a kangaroo who was pushing a wheelbarrow full of red and yellow bricks. "Please will you give us some of your bricks?" asked the three little wolves. "Certainly," said the kangaroo, and she gave them lots of red and yellow bricks. So the three little wolves built themselves a house of bricks. The very next day, the big bad pig came prowling down the road and saw the house of bricks that the little wolves had built. The three little wolves were playing croquet in the garden. When they saw the big bad pig coming, they ran inside the house and locked the door. The pig knocked on the door and grunted, little wolves, let me come in." "No, no, no," said the three little wolves. "By the hair on our chinny chin chins, we will not let you in, not for all the tea leaves in our china teapot." "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down," said the pig. So he huffed and he puffed and he huffed and he puffed, but the house didn't fall down. But the pig wasn't called the big bad pig for nothing. He went and fetched his sledgehammer and he knocked the house down. The three little wolves only just managed to escape before the bricks crumbled, and they were very frightened indeed. "We shall have to build a stronger house," they said. Just then they saw a beaver who was mixing concrete in a concrete mixer. "Please, would you give us some of your concrete?" asked the three little wolves. "Certainly," said the beaver, and he gave them buckets and buckets full of messy, slurry concrete. So the three little wolves built themselves a house of concrete. No sooner had they finished than the big bad pig came prowling down the road and saw the house of concrete that the little wolves had built. They were playing battledore and shuttlecock in the garden, and when they saw the big bad pig, they ran inside their house and shut the door. The pig rang the bell and shouted, "Little frightened wolves, let me come in." "No, no, no," said the three little wolves. "By the hair on our chinny chin chins, we will not let you in, not for all the tea leaves in our china teapot." "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down," said the pig. So he huffed and he puffed and he puffed and he huffed, but the house didn't fall down. But the pig wasn't called the big bad pig for nothing. He went and fetched his pneumatic drill and he smashed the house down. The three little wolves managed to escape, but their chinny chin chins were trembling and trembling and trembling. "We need to build an even stronger house," they said. Because they were very determined, just then they saw a lorry coming along the road carrying barbed wire, iron bars, armour plates and heavy metal padlocks. Please would you give us some of your barbed wire, a few iron bars and armour plates, and some of your heavy metal padlocks, they said to the rhinoceros, who was driving the lorry. Sure, said the rhinoceros, and gave them plenty of barbed wire, iron bars, armour plates, and heavy metal padlocks. He also gave them some plexiglass and some reinforced steel chains because he was a generous and kind-hearted rhinoceros. So the three little wolves built themselves an extremely strong house. It was the strongest, securest house one could possibly imagine. They felt very relaxed and absolutely safe. The next day, the big bad pig came prowling along the road as usual. The little wolves were playing hopscotch in the garden when they saw the big bad pig coming. They ran inside their house, bolted the door, and locked all the 67 padlocks. The pig pressed the video entrance phone and said, little wolves, let me come in." "No, no, no," said the little wolves. "Not by the hair of our chinny chin chins, we will not let you in, not for all the tea in our china teapot." "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down," said the big bad pig. So he huffed and he puffed, and he huffed and he puffed. But the big bad pig wasn't called the big bad pig for nothing. He bought some dynamite, and he laid it against the house
and lit the fuse. And what's going to happen? Will the house fall down? The house blew up. The little wolves just managed to escape with their tails on fire. Boom! "Something must be wrong with our building materials," they said. "We have to try something different." But what? At the moment they saw a flamingo pushing a wheelbarrow full of flowers. "Please, will you give us some flowers?" said the little wolves. "With pleasure," said the flamingo bird, and gave them lots of flowers. So the three wolves built themselves a house of flowers. Well, that's not going to be very strong, a house of flowers. I think I could blow that down. And I've got asthma. One wall was marigolds, one was daffodils, one was roses, and one was cherry blossom. The ceiling was made of sunflowers, and the floor was a carpet of daisies. They had water lilies in the bathtub, and buttercups in the fridge. It was a rather fragile house, and it swayed in the wind, but it was very beautiful. The next day, the big bad pig came prowling down the road and saw the house of flowers. He rang the bluebell and said, "Little frightening wolves, with your terrible chins and your scorched tails, let me in." "No, no, no," said the wolves. "Not by the hairs of our chinny chin chin, we'll not let you in, not for all the tea leaves in our china teapot." "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down." I think he will. But as he took a deep breath, ready to huff and puff, he smelled the soft scent of the flowers. "Oh, it's fantastic!" And because the scent took his breath away, and the pig took another breath and another, instead of huffing and puffing, he sniffed. He sniffed deeper and deeper until he was quite filled with the lovely scent of flowers. Ah! His heart became tender, and he realised how horrible he'd been. In other words, he became a big, good pig. He started to sing and dance the tartanella. At first the three wolves were a bit worried, thinking it was a trick. But soon they realised Pig truly changed. So they came running out of the house. They introduced themselves and started playing games with him. First they played Pig Pog and then Piggy in the middle. And when they were tired, They invited him into their flower house. They offered him tea and strawberries and wolfberries and asked him to stay as long as they want. The pig accepted, and they lived happily ever after. Snip, snap, snout, the story's out. Bye.